Hey guys, welcome to another video of Power Automate. So today we will see list in Power Automate. Basically, list is a collection of object, a similar kind of collection, a similar kind of objects in a collection. So for example, if we have a fruits of similar kind and different fruits can be contained into a single list. Okay, list is basically a single dimension array which can be increased or decreased. So it does not have a finite length. Okay, so let's see. I have created a flow in the Power Automate, and let's see how can we create a list. So let's first use the default objects or default action which Power Automate has given. Let's create a new list called fruits. Okay, so if I run it, if you see, it will create a new list. Okay, so it has, if you see list of generic values, it has created a list. Okay, now let's add some items to a list. So let's add banana, okay, to the fruits list. We add more. Okay, so I have added some item. Let us run this. Okay, so if you see, the index for the list start with 0. Okay, since we have added 6 items, it will have 5. Okay, so index always start with 0. Okay, so this is how we can create a list, and this is how we can add items to the list. These are the default action. We'll see how can we uh, use set variable to add item to the list, but for now these are the default ones. Now let's see how can we use a merge list. Okay, let's take a merge list, and for now let's create a new list. Let's call it veggie. Okay, and let's put the banana into veggie list. Okay, and let's put grapes into this list. Okay, and let's give the first list as fruit and second as the veggie, and it will give us the output. Okay, let's see how the output is being created. Okay, so if you see, fruit has apple, peas, orange, and veggies have banana, grapes, and carrots. And the output list will have, so first it will have fruits, and then it will have the veggies list items. So if you see, okay, so this is how merge list works. It will just append the second list into the first list. Okay, now let us use a sort list. Okay, list to sort. Let us say that we want to sort output list. Okay, and the output will be saved in the output itself, the same variable. Okay, so if you see, it will be sorted by alphabet. So A apple, B banana, C carrot, then G grapes, and O oranges, and P for peas. So this is how the sort list works, right? Now if I go into this option, sort list by item properties, we will have some property enabled. Basically, currently, since we have created this fruit list manually, there are no properties for the fruits. Okay, if I go here to show you the properties of a list, if you see, it has only a property of count. Okay, so where we use this sort functionality is, so when we fetch the files in a folder, it will come as a list items. Okay, and in files we have different properties like name, like last modified, created date. These are the properties using which we can sort, and we can directly give the names here. Okay, this is, so we'll see how that works. For now, this is how the sort list work. It will sort the items from A to Z. Okay, now clear list basically clears all the items from the list. It will just empty the list. Now remove item. Let's see how remove item works. So if you want to remove an items by index, so let's see, I want to remove the first item from the list, that is at index 0, and from the output list. Okay, so 0, at 0 index we have apple, so it will remove apple. Okay, if you see, the apple is being removed. Fine. Now there is one more action in here called as subtract list. Okay, if you see, it will compare two lists, create a new list with the item that are in the first list but not in the second list. So what it will do is, let's say in our first list we have A, B, C, D, E, five items. Okay, and in our second list we have only A, B, C. Okay, so what output it will generate is A minus B, right? And it will give us the output as D and E. Okay, so if I go with the first list at output list and second list as the fruit list, it will give me the output of veggie. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, so we have output as this: apple, banana, carrot, orange, and peas. Okay, and in fruits we have apple, peas, oranges. Okay, and when I subtract it, see the veggie, one, two, three items, and this is same. So subtract list basically is A minus B, which are not there in the first list. It will give output into our second list. Okay, now let's say that we want to add an item to the first index. So basically, what this add item to the list is doing, it is adding item to the last. But what if you want to add item to the at the 0 index, or you want to retrieve some item from the list? How can we do that? Okay, let's say that in our output list I want to get the third index value. Now how can I do that is, let us use a set variable. Okay, let us give here as fruit name at index. Okay, and I want to get the, let's say at output list I want to get item as the at second index. Okay, okay, so output list 2, if I open output list 2, the second item is carrot, and it has given me output as carrot, but it is a text value. Okay, so this is how we can retrieve the value. But what if I want to add the value at the index 2 or first or third index? How can we do that? Okay, let's see how can we do that. Let us use a set variable, and let's call, we want to insert the value in our fruit list. Okay, so for list we have the syntax within the square brackets. Okay, so we want to insert at the 0 index new value. So new value will be kept in the single quotes. Let's say we want to insert new fruit name. Let's say I want to insert berry. Okay, so Barry will be at our first index. We'll close it like this, and then at our further we will have this. Let's see how it runs. Okay, so if you see, and here we have inserted Barry at the 0 index. So what this set variable has done is it has inserted this, and at the first index it had put 0 value, then at second it has put first, and then at third it has put the second value. Okay, so this is how we can insert our values in a list using the set variable function. So here, like, we have created the list using the default Power Automate actions, and we have added item to the list using the default items, but we can also create list and add item to the list using a set variable function only. So how can we do this is, we can use a variable fruits, and in single quotes we can give like this: banana separated by a comma. So currently this is a text variable, so this value will be stored as text. I'll show you how this will be stored. Now let's create another list of veggie. Now let's different sections: carrot and oranges. Okay, so currently this is a text. Let's see how it runs. Let us disable these functions. Okay, now let's try to run this. Okay, if I run this, and if you see in fruits, this is still a text value. And how can we convert it into a list? Let's see. Go back. Just close this, do the percent signs. Okay, now if you see, these are now list values. Okay, so this is how we can create list, and we can add item to the list directly using the variables. So this is all about lists in Power Automate. Okay, let me know in the comment section below what else I can add into the list. Thanks for watching. Happy automation. Bye.